I'm a beginning photographer and I bought this Canon EOS 90D. I am so happy with this thing. I absolutely love it. Now, what I like to shoot the most, in addition to portraits, which are always fun and great, right? And such an easy thing to do. But I love sports photography. So it was really important to me to find a camera that was going to handle that fast action. And this is a great camera for that. I also have a really big lens that I put on the end of it. And number one, it fits perfectly. It's made for that type of a lens, so you don't have to worry about that. But number two, the speed of the processing of this EOS 90D is amazing. It also has such a great quality to it. This one is also touchscreen. Now this screen will open up, so you can have it open to see this way. So maybe you're using it for shooting yourself. Maybe you're doing some sort of YouTube episode or a podcast or something of that nature that you're filming yourself. This is going to come in handy for that. You're going to be able to see yourself right here on the screen, but you can also flip this to be back here. So if I'm back here shooting out, whether it's video or still, I'm going to be able to look at the screen kind of pulled out like that. Now, one of the things that I love that feature for is when I'm doing photography for vehicles and I'm shooting from those really low angles, or even from sports. Actually, I've done it a number of times in a game where I'm like literally laying down on the grass, kind of shooting up at the action that's happening. This is nice because I don't have to get as low as my camera is. I can actually put my camera down low and then use this to angle so that I can see exactly what I'm seeing through my camera lens on this little screen. And it's very, very versatile. I absolutely love it. So that's going to come in handy for you, whether you're doing sports, portraits, whatever it might be. And then again, if you're shooting yourself and you're kind of doing that video. Now this does have a great video feature, high quality 4K. It's very, very good. People use it a lot in the film industry as well. So it is a professional level video, as well as those beautiful still images. Now you can do a lot. There's a lot of functions up here that you can go into. I normally have mine on manual. I like to be in control of all the settings on my camera, especially as I'm learning. I want to be able to know what things control what parts of my image. Like, what is my aperture going to do? I want to fiddle with those settings. I want to do that myself. I don't want it kind of programmed in. But if you're so much of a beginner that you just want to learn how to do composition, you don't want to worry about all the other things, you can definitely rely on some of those other built-in adjustments that are going to pick some of those things for you based on, AV, TV, your portrait settings, all of that stuff. So definitely use that depending upon your level and what you really want out of your images. Now this is touchscreen. This little screen back here is touchscreen, like I mentioned. So as you're doing like the menu mode, which let me see if I can turn it on here. We'll see if it shows. Yeah, you can see it there. Let me go to menu. So you can touch it, or you can kind of toggle through as well, which is nice. Now, I'm just going to flip it off here. It does come with a single lens, which is just kind of your standard lens that it comes with, but obviously you can swap this out for any lens that will fit on the 90D. So I've got a 50mm lens that I use for portraits. It's kind of a static lens, so it's not going to be, it's a prime lens, you could call it. You're not going to be moving with that. You can't zoom in and out with that, but with this one that it comes with, it definitely has that zoom feature. And of course, the lens cover there. Now this also does have a flash, so the flash will pop up when you trigger the flash to pop up, but you can also it's got a little, I think it's called a shoebox or a hot shoe, something like that. But it basically, your external flash can slide right onto the top there. Now it does have all of your functions over here too, for your aperture, your ISO, your zoom in and out. This is your shutter button. So I have mine set to where if I half press my shutter button, it focus is. So your autofocus is there too. But if I half press that shutter button, it's going to focus on wherever my little button is on my screen. Whatever I set it to, it's going to focus on that spot. And then if I hard press it or all the way press it, it's going to actually take my shot. So it's really nice for those action shots and sports shots as you're kind of moving with the subject and you half press, it's going to lock onto that subject. As long as you have it half pressed that whole entire time, and then you go to press it, you're going to be in focus on that subject on the specific spot that you want on focus. So it's got some really, really great features and tools, especially for a beginner. Now you can put the card in right here. It just kind of pops open and out, and then you press the card in and out. I don't have a card in there right now, otherwise I would show you. And then of course you've got right here in this bigger part that your hand holds, that's where your battery goes as well. So you're going to want to use that Canon battery for that. Now, in addition to this set, I also have this really great tripod that I absolutely love. This is the Victiv AT40. Let me see if I can get this out here, if it's all the way at its max. I don't think it is at this one. No, there we go. It goes up a little bit further. This is such a nice tripod though. I really do love it. And one of the reasons why I love it is because it's got a nice high setting on it. Let me just show you. Well, here, let me just fiddle around with it to where it's even. I'm gonna go the middle here. So in addition to the 3 legs that move, it also has this middle piece that goes up and down. So tripod legs all have that adjustment, and this adjustment is here as well. So you've got 2 different unit pieces that can get you that height that you need. Now, obviously, if you're not that tall, you don't want it that high, right? Unless you're using it for video and you obviously want it at a higher angle, and you can do that video. Or if you have a remote for the camera itself, you can do it that way as well. But this definitely comes in handy for that portraiture, or if you're setting up to do any kind of landscape photography. This is nice because you can get that height just right. So it also has this really great little level on it. So it's got the level on both sides. It's got it on the horizontal and the vertical side, or the X and Y, I guess you could say. But that way you can make sure that the camera is perfectly level based on what you want to be shooting. Like, you're not going to want it to be super wonky and not level and then have to go back and post and really mess around with it. So that's going to be an important feature for you. Let's see what else. It's got a little strap. It's got a hook down at the bottom so that you can put a sandbag, like you can put a sandbag on it to where it's going to center that sandbag and it's going to weigh it down so it won't tip over in the wind or anything like that. So that's really useful as well. But all in all, this is a great tripod. I've really enjoyed using it. I've used it several times, really love it. But again, the EOS 90D, also a fantastic camera, especially for beginners. Even if you're not a beginner, it's a wonderful camera that I think you'll be really happy with, especially for that sports photography that I like to do, or maybe wildlife, where the subject is moving. There is action in the subject. This is a great camera for that, especially on a more affordable, reasonable end. So hopefully this is a helpful review for you for both the Canon EOS 90D and the Victiv AT40 tripod stand. And if it was helpful, then please follow me for more.